In this video, I will finally make some progress on my Chaos Demon army by painting a whole Start collecting box in one go, hopefully. I'm Alex and you are watching Winterwolf Miniatures. Starting, of course, by building these creatures. It's pretty straightforward. I chose to build this skull cannon set instead of the blood throne. If you like miniatures and the miniature hobby, make sure to hit like on the videos you watch. You can start with this one. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I often attach the head last. In that way I can make sure the miniature is looking in a natural direction. Often you want that to be forward. I've superglued some larger chunks of cork to the bases, and now I cover everything with sand, as usual, as much as sticks is the correct dosage. Now, I don't like those tall heads the demon has, so I'm going to quickly craft my own with some green stuff. It's pretty straightforward, just cut the green stuff up in similar sized chunks, roll them as tiny meatballs and attach them to the back of the face with a drop of super glue. Then glue the neck and gently press it on there. Yes, there will be a hole in the back of the mouth where the tongue would be, but I don't care about that. If I was, I'd simply put a tiny piece of green stuff in the back of the jaw as well. Easy peasy. Job's done! I gave this overnight to cure completely and then got to priming. The first step of the painting here I'll also be doing with the airbrush. They get a layer of dark sea grey sprayed mostly from above. My demons will not be red, they will be dark grey or black. Next step is a null oil bath. This brings out the detail a bit and also darken them some. And that's pretty much the scheme done. Very easy, very quickly. The horns get a base coat of cold grey. They will be white later. I do love red and I think the traditional red demons look awesome. But I already painted so many things in red and I wanted my demons to be a bit different. But I'm still going to use it. The swords get a base coat with red here, and later I decided to also paint all the armor parts in red as well. I first thought about doing the armor and the mounts and the stuff in grey as well, or maybe even white. But I couldn't resist using red. Had this been the plan all along, I would probably have base coated this with the airbrush instead of grey. but it's no problem. A big brush, thin paint, 2 servings, and it's done in a heartbeat. The horns get their first white layer. And now, when the red is completely dry, I just do a quick dry brush-like passing with a lighter red to get some quick highlights. I've painted the swords with gunmetal, but only with dry brushing in a sideways manner, so I get this red undertone on the blades. The hilts get a nice bronze color, and the red undercoat is great for that. Okay. So at this stage I got most of the colors down, so I wanted to decide on the final composition. So let's talk about the bases. The big things are alright, they've got a lot of red and bronze, but the smaller infantry is just basically grey and white, with some tiny amount of red. I therefore decided I wanted to add some more color with the bases, something that would complement the red parts. A cold blue-green color maybe. Here is my options paint-wise, a turquoise and a foul green. Both are right, but they are not perfect. One is too green and the other is too blue. So let's just mix them 50-50. Perfect. That's the color I wanted. A null oil wash later and this is what it looks like. Yeah, that will work nicely. I've also washed the swords with Agrax Earthshade. White for the teeth and for the eyes, followed by a wash of Reichland Flesh Shade for the teeth. And let's buff up those sword hilts with some bronze and a touch of polished gold. A light dusting of cold grey on the base, and as you can see here I also painted the eyes red. This one is nearly finished. With this grey dry brush the base got really toned down, and that is exactly what I want. I want the hint of green from it to add interest to the army, but I of course want focus to be on the models, not the bases. It wouldn't really be me if I didn't do snowy bases. So let's do that. A very light dry brush of white, or wolf grey in this case, as I wanted to keep those cold tones from the blue-green, followed by some tufts and some snow effects.
A few moments later.
And here is the grand reveal.